Hello, my name is Darren Clark, and this is my third year games project, iteration 3 for Games Development Practicum. You can see currently it's looking quite a bit different if you've seen the previous iterations. There's actually some gameplay now, and I've added this dialogue system, so I can proceed this with the arrow here to go through the dialogue. It'll close when it's done. That's just a bit of storyline telling you go into the light. So let's approach the light here and we'll get popped into the next scene. We've got some NPCs and the like here. Bigwig says there's been rats down by the river. Horrible things. That they are. But if we pop over here, we cannot currently use this exit. No one is to enter the forest. Chief Rabbit's orders. So, fair enough, we cannot enter the forest yet. No rabbit back in the warren until Silflay ends. Chief Rabbit's orders. Chief Rabbit has quite a lot of orders. We have to leave, we're all in terrible danger, said Fiver. But it does cycle through the dialogue quite nicely. Just before I go to the next area, I'm going to show can't actually leave yet. Not until we have spoken to this rabbit over here, Hazel. Something wrong with the warren. Seems safe for now. Let's go to the river past the fence, see if you can find me a cowslip. So now that we've spoken to Hazel, he's left the scene, and we can come through here. Now there is a slight issue I'm having at the moment with... Oh, and here we see the new battle system. Jump attack, rat 1, and the AP will actually update correctly. But as I did actually lower the spawn rate as well, so this is just unfortunate luck. But yes, you'll see that also I'm having a slight issue where the character rotates after they've come back out of the battle. So I do need to have a look into that, see why that's... Oh my, this shouldn't be happening as commonly as it is. Right, there we go. And now we'll head towards the cowslip. Oh, for goodness sake. Apparently I need to lower the spawn rate a little bit more. Because this is happening just a bit too just a bit too commonly. So let's get rid of these rats once again. And see if we can actually make it to the bloody cowslip. I will definitely be looking at lowering the spawn rates there. We'll take out the final rat here. Perfect. Now turn back up. For goodness sake. My apologies. I definitely need to lower the encounter rate. I did knock it down to about half of what it previously was, but evidently that's still too high. You'll notice after each battle as well, your health and your action points regenerate. I don't currently have a leveling system implemented, which I would like to get in, but if I am stuck for time, I'm not going to be able to get it done. Now, I do hope to continue updating the game past the project. I would like to actually continue this and see about making a full and complete game rather than just kind of working on it for the project deadline. Oh goodness. Okay, we've almost made it to the cowslip. But of course there are more rats. Luckily enough the rats are very low health, so My apologies for this section of gameplay is not too exciting. Aha, we finally made it. But, of course, there is an enemy. There it is. Visions of danger. Field covered in blood. I'm just scanning the story right now, but it said we should speak to the Chief Rabbit back at the Warren, so now at least we can leave. We have continued the story, and I can get out of this flipping spawn area. We seem to have much better luck this time with the spawn rates on the way out. And as you'll see, the scene is updated a little. There is now a excavator over here. Let's see. And as we approach, Fiver and Hazel will discuss it. But for now, we'll go to the Warren. The guard has left, and we can now enter. And this is our first indoor area. So we'll have a little explore in here, see what's happening. Hello. We're looking for the Chief Rabbit. He's back the other way down the tunnels. These tunnels lead to the sleeping areas. So, maybe back through here. We'll have a look. Hello. Silphley gets shorter and shorter. Used to have a good patch for cowslips, but the aswell found it and you can't get near it now. But we know what we're here to do. Chief Rabbit is back the other way, so let's go and have a chat with him. And we'll also meet a soon-to-be player character. In this area, we cannot get in to see the Chief Rabbit yet, not until we speak to Bigwig. I'm just going to skip through this dialogue for now. And now we can enter. The Chief Rabbit isn't interested in reasons for feeling that there's danger. Fiver's visions. He's heard enough of this. We'll see ourselves out. Let's get some sleep. So we know the sleeping areas are back over here. We'll wander back to the sleeping area. And as we enter here, the Chief won't listen. Let's get some sleep. Be ready when you wake up. And so we'll enter the sleeping area. And now we're here at night. It's the middle of the night, says Rabbit. What are the two of you doing up so late? Hazel, where are we going? Danger is coming, we need to leave. So we need to get to the forest. Now, luckily enough, we saw the forest entrance earlier as well was being guarded. So let's just leave the Warren for now, and we are outside. It is nighttime. The excavator is still there. Probably not a good sign for rabbits, but let's talk to Bigwig. We're leaving, but the aswell are coming into the woods. So we're going to enter the woods. I do actually need to lower the light level in here, but there's a couple of paths in the woods. We'll also encounter new enemies. We've got rabbits. We also have Bigwig joining us in fights now. So I am going to kill off the aswell first, since he is the most dangerous. He has a higher attack damage than the rats. And that should be the end of them. Unfortunately, I am still getting the issue where you get turned around at the end of a scene. But I will hopefully be able to figure that out before the final build. So we're going to carry on through we're going to try and carry on through the woods. And we'll just take out this aswell quite quickly. And the rat. encounter again, because of course we will. But it's been not too difficult to implement a lot of the systems here. A fair bit of bug fixing with the dialogue system, unfortunately, just because of a little bit of silliness on my own part. I forgot to add a component that would handle moving the dialogue along. So it wasn't too difficult to fix in the end. It just took a little bit of time to figure out why it was happening. So hopefully we won't get too many encounters. I say that, of course, we get another encounter. So we'll just use skills on the aswell. It's much quicker than standard attacks. Now, where are we? We're going this direction. There is a slightly odd issue with the shadows of the trees as well, I'm just noticing. Unfortunately, Fiverr and Hazel do seem to disappear. Well, not so much disappear, but just aren't easily visible with the shadows. And we'll just take out these guys quickly. We're almost at the end of what I have to show anyway, so shouldn't be too long more. Just one more rat, and hopefully this will be the last fight before we actually manage to leave. Nope, just a rat this time. Let's just kill the rat. It is unfortunate. I definitely need to lower spawn rates. Hopefully this will end the combat for us. Perfect. Now, could we... just going to take out the aswell and rats. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, well, I'm going to call it there, because it doesn't seem to... I'll give it one more shot. If I can make it out after this fight. Other than that, it's just really you have succeeded screen. There's not a hell of a lot to it yet. There needs to be a bit more story implemented, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough in here for the iteration that I could show that the storyline will come together and that the dialogue systems are working, that I can kind of control how the scenes are. So, you know, we have Sandalford in the day, Sandalford Warren, we have Sandalford at night, we have another flipping combat encounter. But, yeah, you can see from what's happening that it is, for the most part, working together. Apparently I need to further lower spawn rates, but we have an extra character, we have extra enemies, dialogue, multiple scenes, so there's a fair amount of work gone in. I'm just going to call it here because it's going to take an age to get to the end. But thank you very much for checking it out. Hopefully, you know, if you're interested, let me know. I will look to keep updating this, as I mentioned earlier, past the point of the project. So let's try turning around to the right and see if that makes any difference. Oh, we made it, finally. My apologies about that. The combat is slightly painful at the moment, so I will look into amending that further. But for now on, as you can see, you've escaped the woods, you're on your way to finding a new home. You've got Hazel, Bigwig and Fiverr with you. and there will be additional characters added later. But for now, that's what I have, and thank you very much.